On this episode of Carnage, Supermang is back on the dyno. So, after many months, here we are back at Maxx Performance with Supermang. I mean, this car hasn't been on the dyno here for a long time, but yeah, we've been struggling to get this engine ready so it can actually come here and do this, but it is here. It finally runs. Nothing seems to be wrong with it at the moment. Fingers crossed it stays that way for the whole day. But anyway, we're here at Maxx Performance. Zane's going to tickle the keyboard. This has a Haltech plug-in ECU. It's the Platinum GM Sport. So it's a little bit different to the stuff that he normally works with. Everything now is like usually Haltech Elites or NSPs, Nexus ECUs, and you can even put their Nexus software back into the Elites. So everyone tunes with NSP now. Now Zane's got to drag out the old software to work with this thing because it is an old ECU, but it still works and it works good. But yeah, we've got 4.2 litres of V6 goodness in there. Let's see what sort of horsepower it makes. I'm hoping for somewhere around 300 horsepower mark. That would be great. I know that's similar to what we made before, but we've got no intercooler on there or any of that. So if it makes more than that, I'll be very happy. Got an oil leak on the rocker cover. So we just had a slight oil leak there on the rocker cover. I've nipped it down. Should be good now. It'll just have to burn off that old oil, but hopefully we can get some dyno runs now. I think we had an airlock in the coolant system and it's gone from like down here to all of a sudden up here. So we might have to check how much coolant's in it at the moment. Not as much as we'd like. Yeah, it's better now. 8 pounds isn't a lot. Temp's better, yeah, cool. It's going to to be hard to make any power of this thing with heat. Zane pulled a heap of timing just to see what it would do then. That's why it made a lot less. He just wanted to see that it was making a difference. It's up a little bit. 193 kilowatt. Maybe we can get 200 out of it. I don't know. I think it's just getting too much intake heat. With all that heat, it's hard to make changes and see that the changes have made an improvement or not. This is the way it's going to be. So Zane's going to try one last thing, see if we can get this thing to 200 kilowatts. But yeah, we ain't going to see 300 horsepower out of this. So 200 kilowatts would be 270 horsepower, but we'll talk about that later. Oh, so close. So close. Yes! 200 kilowatts! 203! Woo! Okay, so we're making less power than we hoped. We hoped for 300 rear wheel horsepower. It's making, well, that's 203.6 kilowatts, which is 273 horsepower at the rear, just rounding up slightly. But yeah, 273 horsepower, that's not too bad. A heap of torque. It makes a lot of torque. That little stroker, she's making a lot of torque. But, you know, we've put a bigger pulley on it, a slightly smaller cam, and taken off the intercooler, and we're trying to replace all that with 400 cc's more of capacity. The math don't math, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, you can't take away all these things and then add 400 cc's and expect to get it all the way back. Yes, it would make really good power with an intercooler on it, and then we could feed it more boost with a smaller pulley. There is no point putting a smaller pulley on that. If we put a smaller pulley on it and try and feed it more boost, we're already seeing intake temps of 120 degrees Celsius. That's right after a run, at the top of a run. Normally, it'll sit down in the 70s or 80s or something, which is still insanely high. Anyone that tunes boosted cars will tell you that is insanely high intake temps. So it really would benefit from an intercooler. So where do we go from here? Is it worth racing this? I don't think so. It makes less power than we did before. Yes, it makes slightly more torque. I think we would still run a solid 12-second pass with this setup. But what's the point on beating on it like that? I think what we need to do from here is pull the blower off, put a turbo on it, put an intercooler in there, so turbo, intercooled, more boost. Well, let's start with 8 pounds and feed it up from there. But let's face it, that engine with the Marley pistons and the H-beam rods, it should be able to handle 15, 20 pounds of boost pretty easy, you'd imagine. 15, 20 pounds of boost into that, probably going to make 350, 400 kilowatts of the tyres. So then we start talking about how long will the trans last? I guess we'll find out. So I guess we take it back to the workshop, start doing our turbo conversion, and you're going to see that on a future episode of Carnage.